much did that viral speech of Tim Walz factor in here?
It was the first most people had heard of Tim Walz, and I'm not criticizing him. I would say 40 of the 50 governors are nearly anonymous, maybe more than that. So it's not surprising. But yeah, that was a word that Democrats thought fit very well, certainly fit Trump and also fit what they had learned about J.D. Vance, who turned out to be and is a controversial nominee for vice president.
Walz is largely unknown outside the state, as we just said. 71% of Americans say they don't know him or don't have an opinion of him. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's a good thing for the side that manages to define him first. They both should be working overtime and staying up all night to put TV ads and other advertisements together so they can define him, because he could be anything. He's got enough in his record, 12 years in Congress. This is his second term, so he's had 6 years so far as governor. He's got a lot of votes that he's cast and can be defined as good, bad, or indifferent. And I suspect we'll see both sides do the good and the bad.
Larry, most people thought that she would pick Shapiro, given his immense popularity in Pennsylvania and the enormous importance of winning that state. Is it risky to bypass Shapiro in favor of Walz?
We'll know on the evening of November 5th, or maybe, December 5th, the way our elections are stretched out these days. Look, if she doesn't carry Pennsylvania, the second guessing of her decision not to pick Shapiro will be deafening. We'll all hear it. But if she manages to win the election, whether she carries Pennsylvania or not, it will fade very quickly. Look, it seems, if the reports are true, and who knows what really took place behind closed doors, but if the reports are true, it really was a matter of chemistry.
Yep.
Shapiro seemed to go in, if the reports are true, wanting to negotiate what his role would be or talk about what he would focus on. And he was and is conflicted about leaving his position. He's only been in it for 18 months or so, the same amount of time that J.D. Vance has been in the Senate. So you can see why he had second thoughts, whereas Walz seemed to go in and have a very pleasant conversation that included humor. And Kamala Harris just liked him. Personality does matter. You have to sit with your vice president and vice versa for hundreds or really thousands of hours in the course of a 4 or 8 year stint in the White House. So you can see why the personal chemistry makes a difference.
It does make a difference, but you're not going to spend all those thousands of hours in the White House sitting together if you don't first win the election to get into the White House. And our own polling shows Pennsylvania might be a 1 to 2 point race. Whoever wins Pennsylvania has an 85% chance of winning the White House. Our poll also shows that Harris is trailing in Pennsylvania by 1 point and trailing in Arizona, home state of Senator Mark Kelly, who was also a finalist, by 3 points. Doesn't she need Pennsylvania and Arizona? And again, I'm just a bit stuck on she passed both those candidates up.
The Electoral College is the ballgame. And, in my view, that should have been consideration number one. But then again, you and I are not going to be president and have to work with somebody who's vice president. Look, first of all, the polls right now mean nothing. Every one of them was taken before you had a ticket and before the Democratic National Convention, which is a week-long or really 10-day-long commercial, just as the Republican convention was a commercial for the Republicans. So the polls are worthless. Also, every number you cited to me is well within the margin of error. So I don't pay that much attention to them. And I think good politicians who want to be good presidents and vice presidents ignore the early polls, too.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.